Sunday night, I'm Walter Perez, and we are following breaking news once again. Several northbound lanes of I-95 in Philadelphia collapsed after a tanker truck fire erupted underneath an overpass. The fire broke out at about 6 a.m. near the Cottman Avenue exit in the Tacony section of the city. Video from Chopper 6 shows the huge section of the overpass now reduced to rubble. We have live team coverage tonight. We begin with Action News reporter Sharifa Jackson live near the scene in Tacony. And Sharifa, we just got an update from city and state officials.
Yeah, that's right, Walter. And Governor Shapiro says he plans to issue a disaster declaration Monday, but there's still a lot of unanswered questions. You can see behind me there's still a lot of first responders, officials here at the scene. And again, we're still waiting for more questions and answers about what is happening. We're not given an exact answer or timeline when we can expect a rebuild, but we can expect it to take a couple of months. And take a look at some of the video from the scene of the collapse earlier. The governor called it simply devastating. He's also confirmed again a tanker truck was responsible for the fire and was carrying a petroleum-based product when the fire began. Now, city and fire sources tell Action News the tanker truck was carrying 8,500 gallons of 87 octane fuel, and officials still working to identify the individual or individuals that may be trapped in that collapse. Now, the flames erupted shortly after 6 this morning in an area underneath the I-95 overpass near the Cottman Avenue exit. The black smoke could be seen for miles as the northbound lanes of I-95 collapse. And we've also learned while the northbound side is completely collapsed, the southbound side is not structurally sound to carry traffic. Governor Shapiro says he has been assured that there will be absolutely no delay in getting federal funds deployed to quickly help us rebuild this critical artery.
I-95, of course, is a critical roadway. It supports our economy and plays an important role in folks' everyday lives. Our administration, together with the Kenney administration and all of our partners, are all hands on deck to repair this safely and as efficiently as possible.
And again, this has created a tremendous challenge. We're told by PennDOT officials that 160,000 people travel on this roadway daily. Right now, everyone is being asked to avoid the area. We're live from Tacony. Sharifa Jackson, Channel. Walter.
All right, thank you, Sharifa. We go live now to Action News reporter Katie Catro. And Katie, this is far from a quick fix, but SEPTA does have a plan to help commuters.
They do, Walter. Around 160,000 vehicles travel this stretch of road every day. So as you can imagine, this will cause some issues for the morning commute tomorrow. But SEPTA is trying to ease that burden for commuters. We did just get an update from Leslie Richards. She is the general manager and CEO of SEPTA. She says a number of adjustments will begin tomorrow, including adding capacity on the Trenton, West Trenton, and Fox Chase lines. That means additional cars on scheduled trains. She also mentioned busing the Kinwood line to increase staffing for the Trenton line. The Philadelphia Parking Authority will provide free parking at their 3 park and ride lots at Fern Rock, Fox Chase, and at Torresdale to make it easier on commuters looking to take public transportation. There will also be free parking at all SEPTA-owned regional rail lots, as well as the Frankford Transportation Center for access to the Market Frankford line. Richards is asking for people to pack their patience tomorrow. Take a listen.
Please work with us as we work through this, especially tomorrow morning. We ask employers to be as flexible as they can with their workforces. It's going to take longer than normal to get to work tomorrow.
Now, Richards did add, if you haven't taken SEPTA's regional rail in a while, you can use your credit card on the train. She says the conductor should be able to help you with that. Reporting live in Northeast Philadelphia, Katie Catro, Channel 6, Action News. Walter.
All right, Katie, thank you. Mark Fusetti from the city's Somerton section says he was driving to the airport to pick up his son and his girlfriend early this morning when he saw the black smoke billowing over I-95.
When I drove through it, I could see the ground on fire, the grass off to my right. And then I hit felt like a real big bump. Again, I thought, I'm in a construction zone, no big deal. Went through it, looked in my rearview mirror, and I saw cars on the northbound side basically slamming their brakes on. The backup just started right then at that moment. Police weren't even there yet.
My goodness. Fusetti says it wasn't until he later watched his own video that he noticed the road was already buckling when he drove over it. Oh my goodness. Let's turn now to Jessica Boyington. She's live in the traffic center with details on the detours, and this is going to be quite a while, Jessica.
It's going to be a long time. And again, we've talked about this a couple of minutes ago. 95 is always a nightmare, right? And even if we have this or not, normal traffic on 95 is a pretty big headache Monday through Friday for your morning and your evening commute. So right now, let's at least get you through exactly what's happening so that we can attempt to get you around it. This is 95 at Cottman. This is the scene right now on the northbound side. You can see the buckled part of the road right over here. You can also see southbound, no traffic moving on that road. That's because the northbound side is completely closed to traffic between Aramingo and Academy. The southbound side is closed between Academy and Cottman. We additionally have some other closures in the area as well. Cottman Avenue, both directions, from Milner to Torresdale. State Road in both directions as well, from Princeton to Ron, and Princeton Avenue southbound between Torresdale and 95. Those are all, by the way, subject to change at any time in case there's any safety issues for drivers, so keep that in mind. Now, 95, this is around Academy Road. These are kind of what a lot of the ramps are looking like, where they're diverting people off. The good thing is I keep looking at a lot of the cameras on 95 in the surrounding areas. It doesn't look like tons of backup right now, but it is 6 o'clock on a Sunday. So we're not seeing the typical volume in traffic that we would during a morning commute or an evening rush. This is 95 around Allegheny. So before the closures, you can often see a lot of cars kind of exiting and a big delay there before. A second ago, probably about 30 minutes ago or so, we had big delays here on this northbound side of 95 as well, because again, all of those cars that typically take this route have to go somewhere, right? Alternates for you. Now, it's not a clean cut alternate where it's going to get you to the spot you're trying to get to in the exact same amount of time, because it's going to be a big detour, and it's going to be the kind of thing that you're going to need to plan into your commute for a long time. So just get used to it. It's going to take you longer to get to where you have to go. Alternates for you, I would say Frankfort Avenue is a good one, but I think that's going to get really congested after a while. That turns into Bristol Pike, and that can take you to Woodhaven Roads. You can cross on over, but the boulevard's open and an option, but expect more volume on the boulevard because, again, everyone that's being blocked off for this huge stretch of 95 has to go somewhere. So the boulevard is an option. If you're lucky and you have to get over to New Jersey at some point, I would recommend just taking one of the bridges right over and taking most of your trip on 130 in New Jersey as well. But again, I think the biggest lesson here, Walter, is take your time, give yourself more time. It's going to be with us for a long time.
And pack a whole lot of patience.
A whole lot, right in.
A whole lot. All right, thank you, Jessica. My goodness. Stay with Action News and 6abc.com for the very latest developments on the I-95 collapse. And be sure to wake up with the Action News Morning Team. We'll have live team coverage beginning at 4 a.m. tomorrow with updates on the cleanup and the detours.